Akshaya Ramesh actually is a polyglot, meaning she is a multi-language specialist. She can speak English, Tamil, Telugu, and she is learning Mandarin also now. Her hobbies are reading books, drawing, and swimming. And she had been a class topper in primary 1 and 2. And she had even scored first mark in her Tamil subjects. She is right now in primary 4. She has won several prizes in her translation competitions before, English to Tamil and vice versa. Then she has been regularly participating in Tamil debate shows. She has shown a face in Indian TV also, and she has won beautiful accolades from the TV shows, and she has been a welcome change for many a TV show there. She is a prefect in school, and she also volunteers to do reading sessions for weaker lower primary students, which is a very rare empathetic act on the part of a primary school student herself. And Akshaya is a very warm-hearted girl who always comes forward to help people, and she always shares everything she has readily with other people. She has great memory skills, and she is very much interested in learning Chinese and even Japanese. That's very nice to know. And she is a regular visitor of National Library. NLB will be very proud to know that Akshaya practically loves to visit the libraries. And she's also very good in dancing, singing, and whatnot, sports as well. So here comes the all-rounder Akshaya Ramesh to present her paper on physical and mental health of primary school children amidst COVID-19 in Singapore. Welcome, Akshaya Ramesh. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Wait. Auntie, can I start?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Akshaya Ramesh, a primary 4 student in Singapore. The title for my paper is Physical and Mental Health of Primary School Children Amidst COVID-19 in Singapore. I would like to thank my mentor, Dr.Raji Sreenivasan from Masters Academy of Speech and Training and ACE International Limited for providing this opportunity for a primary 4 student like me to present a paper. In this webinar on empowering critical thinking and presentation skills, this webinar is beneficial for students like me, and I feel that this will be an important beginning in my path of learning. Next slide, please. This paper aims to focus on the physical and mental health of primary school children during the COVID-19 situation in Singapore. The coronavirus outbreak has caused major disruptions to daily life of every human being, especially children. In the primary school age group of 7 to 12, in terms of the challenges they face physically and mentally. Staying home and learning through online portals has caused enough havoc in our learning attitudes as well as in our social interactions. In this paper, I intend to further investigate on the issues that arise out of this situation. Due to the COVID-19 period, we were not allowed to go to school and continue our regular activities like having team sports such as netball, basketball, swimming, volleyball, etc. Participating in these team sports used to build up our self-confidence and team spirit. But in these challenging times, we are not allowed to continue these sports. This is a major physical challenge as we tend to become couch potatoes. Sitting in a closed house makes us physically less active due to the lack of physical movements, and we tend to become overweight. Going around in the public parks with groups of friends used to be one of the most enjoyable activities before COVID-19 hit us. What happens to a child during the crisis is one of the factors that determine the child's mental health. Our routines were suspended all of a sudden, and we were clueless about how to engage our playtime actively and meaningfully. Physical and mental health are not two entirely different aspects, as a negative impact on one of these aspects affects the other one too. Next slide, please. What could be the impact of the COVID-19 crisis on children's mental health? This is indeed an unprecedented time for all of us, especially for children like us who face an enormous disruptions to our lives. Children are likely to be experiencing worry, anxiety, and fear. And this can include types of fears that are very similar to those experienced by adults, such as a fear of dying, a fear of their relatives dying, or a fear of what it means to receive medical treatment. Being at home can place some children at increased risk of or increased exposure to child protection incidents or make them witness interpersonal violence if their home is not a safe place. This is something of a serious concern. A few of my friends have called me over phone just to share their anxiety about being cooped up with their family members and a helper for days together. Going to the library and spending productive time there is no longer an achievable reality for many of these children. Though libraries have opened finally, we are not allowed to stay there for long, and we have to come out fast after borrowing the necessary books. This used to be an enjoyable activity once upon a time, but now has become a drudgery as it has become more mechanical. Although all children are perceptive to change, young children may find the changes that have taken place difficult to understand, and both young and older children may express irritability and anger. Many young children may find that they want to be closer to their parents, make more demands on them, and in turn, some parents or caregivers may be under undue pressure themselves. How we help ourselves? There are things we cannot control, like situations around us, COVID-19 spreading, or the spelling test being difficult. But what we can control are our attitudes, actions, and thoughts. We like spending time with our siblings whom we get to see more during this circuit breaker period, and eventually our bonding became stronger. We explore our interests such as baking cakes and making PowerPoint slides and video skits using our childhood photos. We enjoyed spending time together as we get to sing and dance together at home. Although there were some arguments while we play and work on our mini home projects, we learned the way to work things out better among ourselves, and we had lesser fights along the way. Hence, our parents were delighted to see us grow closer because of the stay-home school holidays. Next slide, please. How our parents help us go through this? Parents minimize the dose of COVID stress in these ways. They make sure that we get fact-based information about what we know and don't know about the virus. They limited our exposure to graphic media or frightening stories on TV, social media, and online about COVID-19. They also shared documentaries about previous pandemics and its effects to us and the whole world. They provided strategies that can address, including giving young people the love and attention that we need to resolve their fears, and being honest with the children, explaining what is happening in a way that they can understand, even if they're young. Parents also need to be supported in managing their own stress level so that they can be models for their children. Helping children to find ways to express themselves through creative activities such as drawing, writing short stories, jokes, articles, cooking, baking, coloring, and even cleaning the house, which provided structure and helped to establish routine during the lockdown, resulted in purpose and relief from their boredom. They also empower them by making them feel safe modeling adaptability, and sparking conversations about pandemic heroes. Next slide, please. Parents also taught us healthy coping strategies to prevent anxiety during this challenging period. These include deep breathing and muscle relaxation exercises, engaging in leisure activities or grounding exercises, all of which can be made into fun parent-child sessions. Next slide, please. Conclusion. It is indeed a great life lesson for us on how we can overcome adversity regardless of the challenges thrown at us, and also to appreciate that while our life is affected, we should be grateful that we still have one another. It empowers resilience among us to cope with these challenging situations without compromising our quality of education. Thank you.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good of you, Akshaya.
Thank you.
Give a round of applause to Akshaya, please.